Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today's subject, Accidents, Part 2, from the Mother. Now, without going to that extreme, there are in the physical atmosphere, the earth atmosphere, numerous small entities which you do not see, for your sight is too limited, but which move about in your atmosphere. Some of them are quite nice, others very wicked. Generally, these little entities are produced by the disintegration of vital beings. They pullulate, and these form quite an unpleasant mass. There are some which do very fine things. I believe I narrated to you the story of the little beings who tugged at my sari to tell me that the milk was about to boil, and that I had to go and see that it did not boil over. But all of them are not so good. Some of them like to play ugly little tricks, wicked little pranks. And so, most often, it is they who are behind an accident. They like little accidents. They like the whole whirl of forces that gather round an accident. A mass of people, you know. It is very amusing. And then that gives them their food. Because, in reality, they feed upon human vitality thrown out of the body by emotions and excitements. So they say, just a small accident. It is quite nice. Many accidents. Question. And when the body has been deformed by illness? Mother. That may be an accident, you know. Accidents are due to many things. In fact, they are the result of a conflict of the forces in nature. A conflict between the forces of growth and progress and the forces of destruction. When there is an accident that has lasting results, it is always the result of a more or less partial victory of the adverse forces. That is, of the forces of disintegration, disorganization. That is to be seen. There are teachings, like that of Theosophy, for instance, which take karma in an altogether superficial and human sense and tell you, oh, you have met with this accident because in a former life you did something bad. So that comes back upon you in the form of an accident. This is not true, not at all true. This is but human justice. It is neither the justice of nature nor the justice of the divine. Naturally, the formations of the body is very important in this sense that if, for instance, one is constantly under the influence of a depression, of pessimism, discouragement, a lack of faith, and of trust in life, all this enters, so to say, into one's substance. And then some people, when there is the possibility of an accident, never miss it. Every time there is a chance of something happening to them, they catch it, be it an illness or an accident. You have a whole field of observation here. It is always the same people who meet with accidents. Others do the same things, have as many chances of having an accident, but they are not touched. If you observe their character, you will see that the former have a tendency to pessimism and more or less expect something unpleasant to happen to them. And it happens. Or else they are afraid. We know that fear always brings what one fears. If you fear an accident, this acts like a magnet, drawing the accident towards you. In this sense, it may be said that it is the result of character. And the same thing holds for illness. There are people who can move about among the sick and in places where there are epidemics and never catch a disease. There are others. It is enough for them to spend an hour with the sick person. They catch the illness. That too depends on what they are within themselves. Question. And for children, is it also the same thing? Mother, one cannot say. It is a moral question. The problem should not be judged from a moral point of view. One should not say that those who always enjoy good health and to whom nothing happens are good children, and those who meet with accidents and suffer catastrophes are bad. That is not correct. For as I was saying, the logic of nature is not human logic, and its sense of justice, if it has any, is not a human sense. For it, there is very little of what we call good and bad. Could rather be said that there is what is constructive and what is destructive, what is progressive and what is retrogressive. That indeed is very important. And then there are those who are luminous, sunny, happy, smiling, and those who are gloomy, dull, misanthropic, dissatisfied, who live in gray shadows. It is the latter who catch all the unpleasant things. Those who are radiant, they may be radiant without it being a spiritual radiance. It may be just the radiation of good sense, balance, and inner confidence, the joy of living. Those who carry in themselves the joy of living, these are in harmony with nature, and, being in harmony with nature, generally avoid accidents. They are immune from diseases, and their life develops pleasantly as far as it is possible in the world as it is. Every year, the trunk increases a little, and it will take several hundred years to reach the end. But every year, it repeats the same thing, passes through all the stages of beauty, charm, attractiveness, and you say, but why does it not stop there? And the next minute, it is something else. You cannot say it is better, but it is different. And so it passes from one thing to another, through all the stages of flowering. Then the accidents begin. With the accidents comes deterioration, and with deterioration there is death. It is like that, but accidents are not indispensable. Namaste.